Faithfully delivering value, interpreting global bestsellers. Hello, this is Shinma Talking Books. Today, I'll interpret the book Rich Habits for you. How exactly can we cultivate good habits? Feel free to leave comments and share good methods for developing habits, rich habits. This concept comes from a study conducted by the book's author, Thomas Corley. From 2003 to 2008, he spent 5 years tracking the daily habits of 177 wealthy individuals with liquid assets exceeding $3.05 and 128 poor individuals with liquid assets below $5,000. He discovered significant differences in habits between the rich and the rich poor. Wealthy people always share common habits that lead them to wealth and success, which the author calls rich habits. If people can cultivate these rich habits, it's like following in the footsteps of the wealthy, and they can achieve a successful and happy life. The book's author, Thomas Corley, is a certified public accountant and certified financial planner in the United States. His accounting firm is a leader in New Jersey's accounting industry. Due to his profession, he has interacted with many wealthy people while also facing clients with poor financial situations, which led to the concept of rich habits. This observational study and his findings have been published on CBS Evening News, USA Today, and hundreds of media platforms in over 20 countries, gaining widespread attention. Next, I'll divide it into two parts to interpret the main content of this book for you. First, what are the rich habits? Second, how to cultivate rich habits. Let's start with that. In the first part, through long-term observation, the author summarized 10 rich habits found in wealthy people. I'll divide them into three categories: lifestyle, communication habits, and personality traits, to explain to you. In terms of lifestyle, wealthy people and those with poor financial situations have significant differences. Well, you might think that the wealthy lead more leisurely lives, but in reality, they are more disciplined and restrained in their daily lives. First, wealthy people care deeply about their physical health because they understand that the body is the foundation of all success. Illness wastes a lot of time and causes missed opportunities, not to mention achieving success and happiness. To maintain health, 75% of wealthy people never eat at fast food restaurants that sell fried foods. The reason is simple: fried foods easily cause obesity and other health problems. To maintain their figure and health, they strictly control their diet, only indulging occasionally when enjoying holiday feasts or attending banquets. Wealthy people not only eat healthily, but also stick to exercise. In the author's survey, 76% of wealthy people spend 20 to 30 minutes on aerobic exercise, like running, brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, at least 4 days a week. There was no ways over ending riots. These exercises not only strengthen the body and boost energy, but also deliver more oxygen-rich blood to the brain, keeping it alert. So, the author also found that actually most exercises wealthy people engage in aren't expensive, and anyone can emulate them regardless of their financial situation. Sleep is also something wealthy people highly value. In the author's research, 89% of wealthy people get at least 7 hours of sleep per night. This allows their bodies and brains to get sufficient rest to maintain abundant energy during daytime activities. Besides focusing on physical health, wealthy people also pay great attention to self-improvement. 88% of them spend at least 30 minutes daily on self-study, reading, or listening to audiobooks. And while live loud among them, 58% enjoy celebrity biographies, drawing wisdom from the life experiences of legendary figures. 55% read personal growth books, gaining practical methods for self-improvement from them. Additionally, 51% read history books, seeking solutions to current problems from historical rise and fall. Contrary to common belief, in the author's survey, most wealthy people don't spend lavishly but manage their wealth carefully. Even after acquiring wealth, many wealthy people still live frugally. For example, Nearly half of the wealthy in the survey have bought used cars, and 33% use coupons for purchases. Additionally, 30% buy clothes from thrift stores without worrying about it damaging their self-esteem. 74% have a savings habit, setting up dedicated retirement accounts for the longer-term future. 91% choose investments cautiously, setting realistic and achievable goals for investment returns. These daily self-discipline habits help wealthy people build a foundation for success. Next, let's explore what distinctive habits wealthy people have in handling interpersonal relationships. The author's survey found that wealthy people all have good communication skills. They excel at maintaining relationships and actively choose positive connections. Wealthy people invest significant effort in maintaining their network, carefully remembering names, birthdays, hobbies of contacts, and sending timely greetings. This gesture may seem trivial or even calculated, but it actually greatly benefits relationship building. And the survey shows 80% of wealthy people call to congratulate those they value on birthdays. And these recipients might not have been close initially, but after receiving greetings, 25% respond, gradually building familiarity through interaction. Beyond birthday wishes, for valued individuals, wealthy people actively participate in important life milestones. For example, calling to congratulate promotions, giving gifts for newborns or graduates in their families. However, wealthy people carefully curate their social circles, befriending only like-minded individuals. The survey shows 86% befriend those who can help achieve their dreams and goals. 63% invest time maintaining lasting relationships with optimistic, positive individuals. Thus, many volunteer at least 5 hours monthly to connect with positive, altruistic people. Similarly, they consciously avoid negative, selfish individuals, because such associations invite excessive negativity. What communication habits do wealthy people practice?
They prioritize etiquette, consistently using phrases like please, thank you, and may I.
These courteous expressions are ever present in their speech. When listening, they attentively focus and maintain eye contact. Wealthy people believe honesty is the most effective interpersonal strategy. The survey shows 75% insist on truthfulness, though they may not voice every thought during interactions. They think before speaking to ensure efficient communication, but never lie because they know deceit might bring short-term gains, but ultimately damages their integrity and reputation. 94% of wealthy people avoid gossip. Most gossip is negative, and discussing others behind their backs violates honesty principles, causing irreparable harm to relationships. Number 4. Open. Good communication habits allow the wealthy to build stable, lasting relationships. These valuable connections are the greatest asset on the wealthy's path to success. Finally, let's examine the outstanding personality traits of wealthy people. First, most are highly confident. 79% of self-made wealthy firmly believe they can escape poverty, and 90% feel they control their lives. This confidence prevents discouragement during failure, allowing them to view challenges as opportunities. Second, most are optimistic. 92% believe persistence in passionate pursuits attracts good fortune. 90% believe hard work inevitably achieves goals. To maintain optimism, most learn to control anger, resentment, and hatred. Thus, people feel at ease with them. They habitually use positive self-talk and filter daily influences. They avoid negative people or situations and regularly join uplifting activities that enhance self-worth. For example, they volunteer. When facing unavoidable negativity, they assess before reacting, buying time for rational responses. Whereas most in poverty react instinctively to misfortune, driven by negative emotions. Most crucially, 80% of self-made wealthy are goal-driven, setting ambitious targets, with over half dedicating at least 1 year to a single pursuit. To achieve their goals, they work with single-minded focus, saying no to people and things that might hinder their life objectives. They think from long-term goals, not dwelling on past successes or failures. but constantly adjusting direction to ensure each step aligns with their targets. In executing goals, 74% of wealthy people never procrastinate. They break down goals into daily, weekly, or monthly tasks and complete them systematically. Among surveyed wealthy individuals, it takes an average of 12 years from pursuing dreams to achieving them. They believe in time's power, practice long-termism, and persist relentlessly. 88. Finally, most wealthy people feel gratitude for life's blessings. Over half express daily gratitude through morning meditation, evening prayers, etc., and give back via charity donations and volunteering. In summary, the author observes wealthy people as measured, steady, and grounded individuals. They know life is a marathon, not a sprint. Thus, they practice moderation in work, diet, exercise, sleep, and more. They value etiquette, diligently maintaining relationships to make others feel respected and valued. Therefore, they usually enjoy good interpersonal relationships. Most are confident, optimistic, highly goal-oriented, diligent, and persistent, making professional success more attainable. We see that rich habits bring not just material wealth, but spiritual, relational abundance in all aspects. The survey also shows those with poor finances maintain habits vastly different from rich habits. For example, nearly all lack life plans and reading or learning habits. For leisure, they watch TV over an hour daily. They don't avoid negative people. Many have pessimistic attitudes and neglect their health. 77% of poor people never exercise. 69% visit fast food restaurants over 3 times weekly, just as rich habits can bring comprehensive wealth and success. Poor habits not only impoverish you materially, but over time can ruin your life. So if you want to change your life situation, distance yourself from detrimental poor habits. Simultaneously cultivate more rich habits. How specifically should you proceed? This brings us to part 2. We'll discuss. To change habits, first understand how habits operate. Deep in our brains lies the basal ganglia, about ping-pong ball sized, which coordinates habits. When it detects frequent interactions between specific brain cells, it labels them as habits. When the basal ganglia identifies opportunity to execute a habit, it commands these labeled cells, activating them. Thus, we involuntarily form certain thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. Why do humans have habits? Because habits serve to reduce brain workload and conserve energy. Driven by habits, actions require no thought, conserving energy for critical learning and thinking processes. Hence, changing habits is challenging. It defies the brain's design. However, the author's research shows strategic approaches ease this process. Somewhat, the author proposes a 3-step habit change process. First, awareness of your habits. The reason is simple. Many habits operate unconsciously. For example, some reach for phones upon waking. Others light cigarettes when chatting. Without conscious awareness, you won't recognize these habits. So how to become aware? The method is simple. Record every habit from morning to night on paper. For example, you get up, brush teeth while listening to an audiobook, eat cake and milk tea, bought downstairs, feeling overly full, take subway to work while catching up on yesterday's drama, then habitually browse websites before starting tasks, etc. After meticulously recording all daily habits, step 2 is evaluating them. Mark good habits with sham and M and bad habits with shamdid. When uncertain, ask, does this habit help me become who I want to be? For instance, listening while brushing is good for self-improvement. Checkmark. Eating cream cake and milk tea contradicts your goal of a slim, healthy body. Swapped. Watching dramas on Subway wastes time and hinders growth. Browsing websites first undermines work efficiency. Pick it. Don't panic over numerous bad habits at this stage. This step aims to identify detrimental habits for targeted change and life improvement. Thus, awareness and evaluation form the foundation of habit change. But most impatient people skip these steps and jump straight to adding new habits. Hence, changes often fail. For example, many set New Year goals like morning runs for weight loss. Unaware, they habitually stay up late.
They can't wake up early, and evening socials often lead to overeating.
Without awareness, these old habits sabotage new ones.
After awareness and evaluation, step 3 begins actual habit change, replacing bad habits with wealth-building good ones.
First, clearly define old habits to eliminate and new ones to cultivate, using 2 methods.
Method 1. Create new habits around a single goal.
For a 6-kilogram weight loss goal in 3 months, establish daily 3-kilometer runs and no dinner carbs habits. The second method is to consciously replace your current bad habits with rich habits. For example, replace breakfast cake or milk tea with whole grains or toast or milk. Replace subway drama watching with audiobooks. Replace web browsing at work. Start with reviewing daily schedule or planning tasks. Write desired new habits next to each bad habit. Combining both methods creates your personalized rich habits tracking sheet.
Next, execute this tracking sheet in phased steps.
Tracking sheet. The author recommends a 21-day habit change cycle, 7-day phases based on neuroscience. Building new neural pathways takes at least 21 days, with significant changes every 7 days.
Phase 1. Change morning habits by creating a dedicated checklist from your tracking sheet, forcing diligent execution.
Execute these habits well. For 7 days, daily check alignment with each new rich habit. Daily repetition allows the basal ganglia to confirm and solidify these habits in the brain. After greater than or equal to 7 days of morning habits, enter phase 2, daytime habit cultivation. Daytime habit cultivation. Maintain morning habits while adding new daytime habits until solidified. Phase 3, another 7 days, adds evening habits, completing a full day of new routines. Post 21 days, continue using the checklist for self-monitoring. Strict daily practice turns habits automatic over time. This is ideal. Realistically, replacing all bad habits at once may be challenging. The author notes that successfully cultivating 2 to 3 good habits in one cycle deserves a thumbs up. Achieving over 5 new habits is exceptionally impressive. Repeat these 3 phases to continuously reinforce all desired new habits. Finally, the author offers 3 effective shortcuts to accelerate habit change. First shortcut, habit stacking. Imagine an existing habit as a train on tracks. Adding a passenger without altering the train or tracks won't trigger strong brain resistance. For example, if you want to drink water daily while maintaining your 30-minute treadmill routine, place water beside the treadmill. Finishing exercise triggers drinking, creating an instant stacked habit.
Second shortcut, change your environment.
Altering environments makes breaking bad habits and forming new ones easier. New homes, friends, jobs, or objects create opportunities for new habits. Changed environments force new approaches, facilitating habit formation. New dinnerware might establish home cooking habits. Coveted running shoes could spark jogging routines. They might help you develop a running habit.
Third effective shortcut, sabotage bad habits.
Create artificial barriers between yourself and bad habits to increase difficulty. For nightly junk food cravings, remove snacks from cabinets to increase hassle, or replace junk food with healthy snacks like yogurt, dark chocolate, and nuts. Another example, those who binge watch videos for hours after dinner increase difficulty by storing phones in bedroom drawers or hard-to-reach spots upon arriving home. A Duke University study reveals 40% of daily activities are habitual, both physically and psychologically. Our lives are unconsciously shaped by daily habits. Rich habits lead you to wealth and success.
Poor habits leave your life at a standstill.
Mastering habits gives us the key to controlling our lives and achieving happiness and success. Feel free to write your desired habits in the comments and cultivate them using this book's methods. Rich habits. That concludes our interpretation of this book. Reading notes are below the audio. See you next time.